the atrocity that I have on my bed, I am actually packing for a very exciting weekend. I'm going to a girls' cabin weekend getaway. And you guys, I'm so excited. I haven't had like a girls trip like this, and I'm just really excited. I know it's gonna be a very like wholesome, connected, just like a really good trip because the girls I'm going with are incredible and I seriously love them with every part of my being. If I weren't to make a lot of life decisions and push myself outside of my comfort zone, I would have never met any of them.
The best lunch I've ever had, dude. Like, oh, exquisite. Strong delicious. I'm doing a little wrap around.
Wrap around.
Next time we can plan a trip to Gatlinburg. This is giving Gatlinburg, Tennessee. So cute. Oh my goodness. I'm like, okay. It's not my favorite. Okay. Go.
Alright, like, yeah, you can see the fire. Oh, you do have pretty good. Like a stroker. Yeah.
Representing the many joys that bless his life. His loose clothing symbolizes comfort and emotion.
Is it comfy?
It's kind of hard, honestly. I was hoping it would be a little more like netty. You know? So I can get it good.
How has this girls trip been for you?
Oh my god, so good already. I wish we could stay longer, and there's just something about connecting with soul sisters on all levels, having the best conversations, going deep.
I know. It's so funny. I was like analyzing that last night. Like we're over here talking about like the deepest stuff, like talking about trauma and like things we're overcoming and everything. And then I just like compared it to like just regular relationships you have in everyday life. So different. It really is.
Right. I feel like all of us have that like just instant bond with each other, you know, that just connection of safety and acceptance and love and just vulnerability. And I just love vulnerability so much because vulnerability, I always say, it's like just such a superpower, and it's love too, you know, being able to like express those things. Or
I feel like that's something that I was able to find, honestly, from going to the retreat and meeting you.
yeah,
Because like even with my boyfriend, like it took me so long to open up and like really talk about things. So I think you're right, like vulnerability is a superpower, but it is something you have to work at. And like
yes,
something that you have to, like, especially if you just feel like uncomfortable talking about things. And yeah, so I feel like the retreat really opened my eyes to that, and seeing everybody share things like in such a big group setting, I was like, whoa, I've never experienced something like that. So I think like the first group circle we did like just blasted me open, and I started crying because I just felt so uncomfortable doing it. But yeah,
I totally
it was
agree.
a beautiful experience though.
I can relate, because I feel like typically throughout my life I've always been very the one to be like in a leadership role, or like, you know, have things put together, the mediator. And so like, you know, once you have this like built persona in a way, you're like, I don't want anybody to see me cry because like I have to be strong for other people. And so like just really getting down and being like, you know what, like I am not okay. Like I'm literally not okay. And being able to just be real with that, 'cause I feel like for so long too, like I feel like I've always been very, I wouldn't say like good with my emotions in a way. Yes, I have been, but also, yeah, I just wouldn't like to share or like feel like I'm complaining or like, you know, being a burden in any type of way. So I just like didn't like people to see me cry. I would be so uncomfortable if people saw me cry. I'm like, I don't, like I would just hold it in.
Yeah, I know how that feels.
Now I'm like, hey, how are you? Yeah, girl, I'm just dealing with some trauma. Like, you know, like just get to the real conversations. But
yeah, I know that's something I'm learning in my book is like talking about like when someone says, oh, how are you? Instead of just being like, I'm good. Just be like, actually, like, I'm actually going through some things right now. Or like, this is actually how I'm feeling right now. I'm feeling conflicted with certain things. Right. And like, even if it's around somebody that you're like unsure of, like, even just saying that, like, it will give them that permission slip for them to do that too, and like actually talk about their feelings, even if they're like, whoa, like I was just expecting you to say I'm good, like a normal person. You know? Right. So yeah.
No, because I mean, again, then whenever you're able to be fully authentic in yourself and show up in that, you then allow other people to be that way too. And a lot of times people are being on a facade. We love a facade in our whole life, because a lot of it is we're not leading with love, and the opposite of love is fear. And when we lead with fear, we create this parallel universe in our head that's something so, it seems so real, but it's like completely not even real. And so then we attract this parallel universe of something that's so unreal to become our reality. So yeah, when we're able to realize, like, know our true and get to our true essence, then we know that our true essence is love and acceptance of everything that we are and what we're going through. We're going to achieve, going to overcome, and just like love being and love the people for where they are. Even for me, I feel like I've been somebody who's always been like, I'm so confident. But then, like, really, whenever I started to change and grow, I started to be in really uncomfortable situations. And I'm like, oh, maybe I'm not as confident as like I thought I was.
I feel like they're always going to be tested.
Yeah, I'm always going to be tested.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
But there's layers to everything. Yeah. Love you.
Love you like an onion.
I love you so much.
Are you a red onion or a green onion? Or are you, no, it wouldn't be a green onion. There's not a lot of layers there.
The red one.
You like the red ones?
I like the red ones.
I like the red onions too. I can have red onions because I'm doing SIBO.
I need to do a wrap around.
little
Wrap around.
Why is the sun hitting you perfectly right now? You look like a little guardian angel. Eep.
Tough childhood, like was on her own since 16, so it's understandable like how she's created.
we doing?
Yeah, Juliet.
That was like perfect timing.
We are making a carrot cake.
Du chef, Courtney?
Bacon.
It smells good.
It does smell delicious. Love me for the carrot cake. She's the whisker.
Had banana, there's like cream, some caramel, some like but it's like yeah, I know like
I'm just sitting in the airport right now. I'm actually heading home to Miami today. I seriously had the most nourishing girls trip I've ever had. It was so powerful. We ended up doing a mushroom ceremony all together, and it was seriously so beautiful, and I am excited to share it with you guys. I don't know if I'm going to make a separate video. We'll see. I definitely do want to share about it just because it was really profound for me and very activating for everyone else that was there. Yeah, it was so powerful. I had so many moments of just like crying in gratitude. I've never felt that before, where I was just couldn't stop sobbing just because of how grateful I felt. Yeah, there's a lot to share. I feel like I need to take some time to like journal and integrate everything. But me and Catherine, my friend Catherine, we ended up doing a group Reiki session. So me and her both practiced Reiki on everybody, and that was really beautiful. And then she also had a sound healing. And it was just a really powerful weekend, just like with the most incredible women. And I feel like we all just got really close, and we all just opened up. And we were all just talking about how grateful we are to have a group of women that feel safe enough to talk about our trauma and things that we've been through and things that we're healing from, and just what our journeys look like ahead. And I know that not a lot of people are able to have that, and so it's really beautiful. I just feel really blessed to have the women that I have in my life right now. And yeah, I was just saying, like, I remember in our sound healing, or maybe it was in one of our ceremonies, I was just like, our love in this group feels like an exhale, because that's exactly how I felt all weekend. Like, we went to the springs, we just had a lot of different rituals, ceremonies together, and we also stayed at a beautiful cabin, and just being in nature was just such a powerful weekend. So I'm excited to share more on that, but yeah, I feel so grateful. I love you guys.